You are now listening to the Vegan Stuff podcast with Caavakushi.
Hosting this podcast today are our two AI hosts, Sam and Kim. If you simply can't get enough of us, go to caavakushi.com and sign up for our vegan newsletter. And we also have some good news. We will be releasing our first ever cookbook pretty soon, so stay tuned. Hey, don't forget to follow us on our socials too.
Okay, ready to dive in? We've got a great stack of Simnett nutrition videos to unpack.
Yeah, looks like we're going deep on plant-based cooking and nutrition this time.
It's like a roadmap for vegan living. Yeah. All those recipes, tips, even grocery shopping.
Lots to cover. Where should we start?
Well, I know you're all about efficiency in the kitchen.
Always.
And Derek really seems to get that too. 10-minute meals. Come on.
Right. He's got those down.
What are some of his standout tips?
Well, he's got the classics, preheating the pan.
Yeah.
Having a scrap bowl for all your chopping.
Makes sense.
But then there are those next level tips, like using leftover mushroom bags for buying bulk items.
Oh, what? Wow. That's actually brilliant.
Right.
I am all about reducing waste.
Me too.
Oh.
And speaking of clever tricks, he has this onion dicing technique.
Oh, yeah, I saw that.
Super fast, no tears.
Got to try that.
It's all about a rolling motion. Little things make a big difference, when you're trying to cook quickly.
For sure. But it's not just about speed, right? Those sauces he whips up.
Oh, the sauces. Yeah, he's got a knack for that. You like creamy sauces, right?
Huge fan.
Well, he makes one with nuts and seeds. Tastes cheesy even.
No way.
Perfect for pasta or veggies or whatever.
Wow, that's so creative. Okay, now, something that always sparks debate. Frozen versus fresh.
Oh, yeah, the great debate.
Derek seems to be team frozen.
He is. He makes a good point, though. Think about it. Frozen veggies are picked at peak ripeness.
Right.
Flash frozen immediately. So they often have more nutrients than produce that's been sitting around.
That's a good point. Never thought about it like that. Plus, it's usually cheaper.
Exactly. Less waste, too. Win-win.
Okay, you've been wanting to get more plant-based protein.
I have.
And Derek tackles the whole protein question head on. What were some of the things he said?
Well, he's big on stressing that getting enough protein on a vegan diet isn't actually that hard. You just have to be smart about it. Include a variety of protein-rich foods, like he mentioned yams, quinoa, spinach, carrots, broccoli, all good sources.
So it's about thinking beyond tofu and beans.
Right. Variety is key. Now, he's all about whole foods, of course, but he does acknowledge that those processed vegan meats can have a place.
Oh, interesting.
He sees them as a stepping stone, for people transitioning.
Makes sense.
But not the end goal.
Yeah, I get that. And he talks about those social situations, right?
He does. Navigating, family gatherings and stuff as a vegan.
It could be tough.
He shares some personal stories, which I think is helpful.
Yeah.
His whole thing is be the light, lead by example, focus on the positives.
I like that. Okay, now about tempeh.
Tempeh.
It gets a bad rap.
Sometimes, but Derek's a fan.
I saw that.
And for good reason. That fermentation process makes it easier to digest.
Really?
Plus, it's a complete protein, packed with all sorts of good stuff. B vitamins, iron, zinc, great for athletes and anyone looking to get those nutrients.
And he makes the case good, too.
Right. It's all in the preparation. Speaking of things that can be controversial, he also dives into soy.
Oh, that's a big one.
It is. He tackles it head on, though. Addresses all those fears and misconceptions.
Like what?
Well, for example, most soy production doesn't even go towards human consumption. It's for animal feed.
Huh. I didn't know that.
He also talks about GMOs and glyphosate. Important to be informed, right?
Definitely. It's about making conscious choices.
And he gives you the information to do that. Okay, now, another myth. The oil-free thing.
What about it?
He explains that, yes, we need fat to absorb those fat-soluble vitamins.
Right.
But it doesn't have to be oil, specifically. Whole food sources like tahini, avocado, nuts, they've got you covered.
Okay, good to know. Now, supplements. He talks about that too, right?
He does. He's very open about his own routine. Well, B12 for sure, essential for vegans.
Right.
And vitamin D3, especially during winter. He even says what dosages he takes and everything.
Wow, that's helpful.
I thought so. And, he encourages viewers to get those blood tests done.
Smart. Okay, what about building muscle? That's something I'm interested in.
Well, he uses himself as an example, shows that you absolutely can build muscle on a plant-based diet.
Yeah, he's pretty ripped.
He even uses this tool called the FFMI calculator to show that his muscle mass is, naturally attainable.
Interesting.
It's important, because people still think you need meat to build muscle.
It's changing the narrative. But it's not all sunshine and coconut chips, right?
Right. He does talk about the challenges, too, like finding organic produce without all the plastic packaging.
I feel that. It's a struggle.
He acknowledges that.
Yeah.
But he focuses on what we can control, making those conscious choices.
Right. It's about doing our best. Okay, what about his protein tier list? I heard about that.
Yes. He ranks different plant-based protein sources, and some of the placements might surprise you.
Like what?
Well, he challenges that whole complete proteins are always best idea. Our bodies can combine amino acids from different sources throughout the day. So vital wheat gluten's at the top, of course. Super high protein content. Seitan, too, since it's made from that. Lentils, tofu, edamame, soy curls. Those are all up there.
What about quinoa? Isn't that supposed to be a complete protein?
It is, but it's actually lower on the list.
Really?
The protein content isn't as high as some of the others. Still a healthy grain, though.
Okay, so even within the plant-based world, there's a hierarchy.
Interesting. Now, I heard he had a Q&A with Dr. Greger. What was that like?
Oh, it was a good one. They talked about everything, from meal prepping to those misconceptions about vegan diets.
Anything that surprised you?
Someone asked if, some people are just not suited to thrive on a plant-based diet.
Oh, interesting.
Dr. Greger was very clear. A healthy diet is a healthy diet, period.
That's a good point.
He said, there's some super rare genetic conditions, but for most people, a well-planned vegan diet can provide all the nutrients you need. He even compared it to smoking. There are some people just not suited to thrive without smoking. Wow, that's powerful. Okay, what else did they talk about?
Batch cooking came up.
I've been wondering about that.
The question was about nutrient loss over time.
Yeah.
Dr. Greger said there's a bit of loss each day, sure, but food loses nutrients just sitting on shelves too, and during transport.
True.
He thinks the convenience of batch cooking outweighs that minor loss, and it encourages those healthy choices.
That's reassuring. Okay, now his video about turning his life around.
Oh, yeah, that one was inspiring.
Really personal, too.
He talks about overcoming addiction and finding purpose through, a healthy vegan lifestyle.
No.
He doesn't sugarcoat the challenges, but he stresses focusing on what you gain, not what you lose.
Love that. What kind of tips did he have?
Well, self-awareness, for one.
Makes sense.
And building a supportive community.
So important. It's really a testament to the power of lifestyle change.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's a powerful message.
Yeah.
And that focus on what you gain, it kind of ties in with his whole approach to building muscle, too.
Oh, yeah. You mean those videos where he shares his full day of eating?
Yeah, exactly.
I have to admit, those protein pancakes look pretty good.
They did, didn't they? And it's not just about the food,
Yeah.
He actually breaks it down, how he uses simple ingredients to fuel his workouts.
Right.
It feels very doable, even for someone who's not, a fitness fanatic.
Yeah, I like that about him. It's not about being perfect, just finding what works for you.
Totally. He's big on listening to your body, adjusting your protein based on how active you are. And, he doesn't shy away from those, accusations. Yeah, steroid use.
Oh, right. The whole vegan muscle myth.
Exactly. So he uses that FFMI calculator again to show that his physique is totally natural.
Makes sense.
It's important, right?
Yeah.
Because it challenges that idea that you need animal products to build muscle.
Yeah, it's about changing the narrative.
Yeah.
Okay, now, what about those nutrient deficiencies people worry about?
Right. He's upfront about that.
Good. Because that's something I've been thinking about.
B12 supplementation, for one.
Yeah.
Not really in plant-based foods.
Right.
And vitamin D3, especially during winter.
Okay, now, I got to ask about that vegan egg recipe.
Oh, the mung bean eggs.
Yeah, mung beans. Seriously.
It's actually pretty simple. A few key ingredients.
Like what?
Kala namak. It's like black salt. Gives it that eggy flavor.
Interesting. And he shows you how to make those store-bought egg substitutes too, like just egg.
Right.
Yeah.
It's more affordable.
Yeah.
Which is always good. Okay, what else? Oh, he addresses that question. Why vegans try to replicate meat?
Oh, yeah, I've heard that.
If they find it so repulsive, why bother?
Right.
He's pretty funny about it, actually. He says it's not about replicating something repulsive.
Right.
It's about those familiar tastes and textures, that you might miss when you're transitioning.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And he makes this point, meat eaters season their food to taste like vegetables all the time.
Oh, really?
Like barbecue sauce.
Right.
That hickory smoke. It's mimicking grilled veggies.
Never thought about it like that.
Yeah.
Okay, I've been having trouble staying motivated with exercise.
Oh, yeah.
Did he have any tips?
He talks about that.
Yeah.
And he's honest. Motivation comes and goes.
So true.
So instead of relying on that, build a routine. Find activities you actually enjoy. Focus on those rewards.
Like feeling good.
Exactly. Energy levels, mood, that kind of thing.
Makes sense.
He's big on visualization, too. And setting realistic goals. Break those big goals down into smaller steps. Less daunting,
Yeah, I need to do that.
And celebrate those small wins. Keep that momentum going.
Good advice. Okay, now maximizing those workouts. What about that mind-muscle connection thing?
Oh, he has a whole video on that.
I know, I was intrigued.
So he suggests using lighter weights, slowing down your movements, really feel those muscles working. He's a big fan of unilateral exercises, too, for balance and muscle activation.
Makes sense. He also says to, touch the muscle you're working right.
So he does. It sounds weird, but it helps you focus.
Interesting.
And, of course, proper form, no injuries. Got to get the most out of your workout.
Okay, now on to those comfort food recipes.
Oh, yeah. He's got some good ones. Remember that mushroom soup?
The creamy one?
Yep. In the video about staying fit in the fall, perfect for those chilly nights.
Yeah, that looked good.
And he had that kale salad with the tahini dressing.
Oh, right.
Sounded delicious. And, he even has those protein chocolate chip muffins.
No way.
Healthy eating doesn't have to be boring.
Right, it's about balance.
Yeah.
Okay, what about that day of eating for lean gains video? You mentioned wanting to build lean muscle.
Oh, yeah, that was a good one. He shows you how he fuels his body for muscle growth, but stays lean.
And it's all plant-based.
All plant-based. He starts with oatmeal, berries, nuts. Simple but effective.
Sounds good.
Then he goes for a morning bike ride.
Nice. Getting that exercise in.
For lunch, he has quinoa with roasted veggies and a tahini dressing. And for dinner, lentil stew with sweet potatoes.
Okay, now I'm officially hungry. It all looks so good. And it's all, real food, too.
Exactly. No processed stuff, no weird supplements, just whole plant-based ingredients.
That's inspiring. He also mentioned staying hydrated, right?
Oh, yeah. He's big on that. It's so important, but people forget, even those small choices like drinking enough water, they make a difference.
True. Okay, I've been a little nervous about vegan options while traveling.
That's a good one. He has a video on that, too. Staying vegan on a road trip.
I know.
He's got some good tips, like packing healthy snacks, researching restaurants beforehand.
Makes sense.
And utilizing grocery stores. You can always find something.
True. I need to be better about planning ahead.
And he's got those funny stories, from his own trips. Reminds you that it's okay to laugh at the mishaps.
I like that. Okay, now a question for you. Nutritionist versus registered dietitian. What's the deal?
That's a good one. He explains it really well. Nutritionist, anyone can call themselves that.
Right.
There's no regulation. But a registered dietitian, they've got the training, the license.
So there's a big difference.
Huge. And, he touches on holistic nutrition, too.
Oh, yeah.
It's not just about food. It's about your whole well-being. Mind, body, all of it.
Makes sense. Okay, what about that pantry and fridge tour? I love those.
Oh, yeah, that was a good one. You could see how he sets himself up for success,
Yeah, I like to see what people actually keep in their kitchen.
Mm-hmm.
So what did he have?
His pantry was full of those staples, quinoa, oats, lentils, beans, all the good stuff.
The foundation for good meals.
And his fridge, so much fresh produce.
Like what?
Greens, for sure. Romaine, cilantro, arugula. Always got to have those greens.
Right.
And then cucumbers, broccoli, peppers, carrots, Brussels sprouts. You name it.
It's like a rainbow in there.
It was.
Yeah.
He also had peanut butter, almond milk, hot sauce, miso.
Okay, now I'm really hungry.
It's all about having those healthy options ready to go,
Makes it so much easier to make good choices.
Did you know we have a vegan search engine, a vegan forum, a vegan newsletter, and so much more coming soon? So why not check us out at Caavakushi.com.
Okay, now I have a question about smoothies. Does blending fruits and vegetables destroy the nutrients?
That's a good one. He addresses that in one of his videos.
What does he say?
Well, he says chewing whole foods is generally better.
Right. Makes sense.
It helps with digestion and all that. But smoothies can be a great way to get a ton of fruits and veggies in, especially if you struggle with that.
Yeah, I'm all about convenience.
He also stresses the importance of variety in your smoothies. You know, greens, protein powder, healthy fats, fiber.
It's about making it balanced.
Exactly. Okay, now, his grocery shopping video. What stood out to you there?
I loved how he emphasized planning ahead. Making a list really helps you stay focused and avoid those impulse buys.
Yeah, I need to do that more often.
Me too. And he's a big advocate for reading food labels carefully.
Oh yeah, he's all about that. It's so easy to get tricked by packaging.
Totally.
He encourages paying attention to the ingredients, sugar content, serving sizes.
It's about being an informed consumer.
Exactly. And, you know, supporting those farmers markets. Choosing organic when you can.
It's about making those conscious choices.
Right. And of course, he always brings those reusable bags, even for the bulk bins.
Love that. And of course, there's always that snack break.
Always. This time it was those spicy coconut chips.
Okay, you're killing me with these snacks.
I know, right? They sound so good.
It's inspiring to see how he makes healthy eating so enjoyable and accessible.
Totally.
Yeah.
Okay, one more thing that I thought was interesting. His personal philosophy on nutrition and fitness.
Oh yeah, what's his take?
He's all about finding something that's sustainable and enjoyable.
I like that.
No restrictive diets, no crazy workouts, just listening to your body, honoring your hunger.
It's about finding what feels good.
Exactly, and finding movement that you love, whatever that looks like for you.
Okay, so I'm trying to find that balance between staying lean and building strength. Any tips from Derek on that?
He talks about that too. And he's honest, there's no one-size-fits-all answer.
Yeah, it's different for everyone.
It's about experimenting, seeing what makes you feel your best.
Yeah, I'm working on that.
And consistency, of course. Patience. It takes time to find that sweet spot.
So true. Okay, one more thing. What does he say about protein powders?
Ah, yes, the great protein powder debate.
There are so many opinions on those.
He's pretty level-headed about it.
Like what?
He says they can be helpful, but they're not essential.
Okay, so you can build muscle without them.
Exactly. He emphasizes whole food sources first. But if you do use them, choose high-quality ones. Minimally processed, no added sugars or anything like that.
It's about being a conscious consumer, even with supplements.
Absolutely. Okay, so back to building muscle. Derek has this great video where he debunks that whole myth about needing animal products.
Yeah, he's living proof that you can get ripped on a vegan diet.
Right. He breaks it all down. Calories, protein, carbs. You need enough of all of them to support muscle growth.
And it's all about those plant-based protein sources, right?
Lentils, tofu, tempeh, seitan, those are his favorites.
Yeah, he loves those.
What you eat affects how you feel, for sure. He also talks about staying hydrated and getting enough exercise.
Yeah, those are crucial for mood, too.
He even shares a recipe for this mood-boosting smoothie bowl, full of antioxidants, good for your brain.
Sounds delicious.
What else?
He talks about those mindset practices, too. Gratitude, mindfulness.
Yeah, those are so important. Okay, one question that always pops up. Are some people just genetically predisposed to thrive on a vegan diet?
He tackles that one, too.
Yeah.
And it's good news. He explains that, yeah, there might be some small variations in how our bodies process things.
Okay.
But for the most part, anyone can thrive on a well-planned vegan diet.
That's reassuring to hear.
He talks about the scientific evidence, too, showing that it's beneficial for people of all backgrounds, all ages.
So it's not about your genes. It's about making those healthy choices.
Exactly. He does say it's a good idea to talk to your doctor, though, if you have any health concerns.
Makes sense. Okay, now those fall recipes you shared, I'm already craving those.
Oh, yeah, he had some good ones. That creamy pumpkin soup
So good.
and that lentil stew. Perfect for a chilly evening. And, of course, those protein chocolate chip cookies.
Of course. Gotta have a little indulgence.
All about balance, right?
Exactly. He also talks about staying active during the fall, even when it gets cold outside.
Yeah, it's so tempting to just hibernate.
He suggests hiking, biking, indoor rock climbing.
Lots of options.
It's about finding what you enjoy
Yeah.
and staying healthy year-round. Okay, one. That misconception about veganism being expensive,
Oh, yeah, that's a big one.
he knows people think that, so he gives those budget-friendly tips.
On all ears.
Beans, lentils, rice, oats, those are your go-to staples.
Those are my favorites.
And frozen fruits and veggies, so much cheaper than buying fresh out of season.
True.
Plan your meals, cook at home more, And don't forget about those bulk bins.
Bulk bins are the best.
And farmers markets.
Yes, you can find amazing deals there.
It's all about being resourceful.
It's not about depriving yourself. It's about getting creative.
Exactly. Now, that Veg Fest London video,
Yeah.
that looked amazing.
It did, didn't it?
You could really feel his passion for the vegan community, all those different people coming together to celebrate.
It was a great reminder that there's no one typical vegan.
Right. He showed athletes, families, foodies, activists, everyone.
It's a diverse and vibrant community.
And the food looked incredible. Vegan sushi, pizza, even fish and chips.
Wow, I'm impressed.
It just shows that you don't have to sacrifice anything when you go vegan. There are delicious options out there for everyone.
Okay, one more video that really stood out to me. Yeah. That discussion about staying positive when faced with negativity or judgment.
Oh, yeah, that's a tough one. How do you deal with that?
It's so easy to get discouraged, especially when people are giving you a hard time.
He gets it. He says the most important thing is to remember your why.
Yeah, why you chose this path in the first place.
Focus on those positive aspects, the health benefits, the environmental impact, the ethics, all those reasons that made you go vegan in the first place.
It's about staying connected to your values.
Exactly. And he talks about self-care too.
That's so important.
He suggests finding those things that help you recharge, whether it's exercise, meditation, spending time in nature, or even just connecting with loved ones.
It's about taking care of yourself, both mentally and physically.
Absolutely. It's been really inspiring to go through all these Simnett nutrition videos with you.
I agree. He's so passionate, and his practical approach makes veganism feel so attainable.
Right. He not only gives you all those recipes and tips, he also addresses those concerns people have. The protein thing, the nutrient deficiencies, the cost.
Yeah, he doesn't shy away from the tough questions.
And he always emphasizes finding what works for you, whether it's adjusting your cooking methods, finding the right supplements, or figuring out how to stay active during the winter.
It's about personalizing your approach.
Exactly. I think what I love most about his message is that he encourages you to shift your perspective on veganism. It's not about deprivation. It's not about restriction.
It's about abundance and joy.
Exactly. It's about being creative and resourceful and finding those ways to nourish your body and your spirit.
So what does this all mean for you? Maybe it's time to try those tempeh recipes, give those frozen veggies another chance, or even blend some protein powder into your peanut butter.
The possibilities are endless. And remember, it's not about being perfect, it's about progress. Those small changes you make every day, those are the ones that really add up.
To a healthier and happier you.
Thanks for listening. We hope you liked this episode. If you did, we'd really appreciate it if you could give us 5 stars on whatever platform you're listening to this podcast on. Also, we would be so appreciative if you could just share this episode or this podcast with all your friends and family who are vegans or vegan friendly. We're also really excited because we are going to be launching something really cool pretty soon on the site, so keep an eye out for that. And we will see you really soon with a new episode.